Point of view. You're the first trillionaire in your family's history. The number on the screen is 1 followed by 12 zeros. You read it twice, you read it a third time, the screen does not blink. The number does not change. It is 6:14 a.m. on a Tuesday in March 2054. You are 64 years old. The leather ledger on the desk to your right has 137 pages of names. Your great-grandfather, your grandfather, your father, you. Beside each name, a number. Beside your great-grandfather's, 311. Beside your father's, 8,400. Beside your name, the cursor blinks. You pick up the pen. You pause. You wonder when the line that is your family will believe what you are about to write. Level 1, the first page, age 19, $0. It is 2009. You are 19. You live in a row house in Forest Hills, Queens. In the upstairs bedroom that used to be a sewing room, the window faces a fire escape and a brick wall. Your mother, Lena, teaches 4th grade for $51,400 a year. Your father, Marcus, was laid off from Sears in November. He has not told the neighbors yet. He pours coffee at 6:30 a.m. and sits at the kitchen table with the same blue mug he has used for 21 years. You attend Queens College. You study computer science because your father said the world is going digital. On a Tuesday in March, you skip your physics class. You take the F train into Midtown. There is a free coding workshop on the second floor of a building above a Korean grocery on 32nd Street. The clock on the wall reads 2:11 p.m. There are 11 people in the room and 8 folding chairs. A man named Theo Marsh teaches the workshop. He is 41. He used to engineer at a defunct company called Bell Atlantic. He looks at your code over your shoulder and says one sentence. What you are learning right now matters more than the degree. He says it without smiling. You will remember that sentence at 4:17 a.m. For the next 45 years, you ride the F train home. You have 40 inches your bank account. You eat a turkey sandwich at Lola's Diner on Queens Boulevard for $4.75. You walk home in light rain. Your father is at the kitchen table with refinance paperwork. The new mortgage rate is 6.25%. He does not look up. You open the hallway closet. Behind your mother's winter coats, behind the photo albums, you find a hand-stitched leather ledger. It has 137 pages. It has been in your family since 1923. The first page reads, Daniel Pierce, coal miner, Logan County, West Virginia, 1,923, 311. The most recent entry in your father's careful blue handwriting reads, Marcus Pierce, 2008, $8,400. You take the ledger to your room. You sit on the bed. You write on page 137, your name, 2009, 0. You stare at the 0. The 0 feels honest. The 0 feels like the first true number you have ever owned. At level 1, you are 0. The 0 is not failure. The 0 is the first honest line. Level 2, the first 100. Age 24, 1,070,000. It is 2014. You are 24. You sleep 4 hours a night. You write code in the second bedroom of Anubhav's $1,840 a month apartment in Long Island City. You share with 2 roommates, Raj and Priya. The radiator clangs at 4:17 a.m. You have built a piece of accounting software for restaurant owners. It tracks vendor invoices, payroll for prep cooks, and cash tips. You named it Ledger because of the leather book in your closet. You sell the first license to Lola's Diner, the same diner from Queens Boulevard. The bill is $480 for the first year. The owner, a 68-year-old woman named Sophia, hands you a check on a Wednesday at 11:13 a.m. The check is the first money any business has ever paid you for anything. You frame the photocopy. You hang it above your desk. By April, you have 47 paying restaurants. By July, you have 312. By November, a mid-cap accounting software company in Atlanta calls. The chief operating officer is a man named Daniel. He flies you down. He offers $4.2 million in cash and stock for the company. You walk out of the meeting. You stand in a parking lot in Buckhead at 6:48 p.m. The sky is orange. You call your mother. She does not understand the deal. She asks if you will still come home for Thanksgiving. You say yes. You sign the papers 2 weeks later. After taxes, after the broker fee, after Raj and Priya's small equity, your share is $170,000. You wire it into a Charles Schwab account. The screen says 1,070,000. You sit at your desk. You stare at the screen for 41 minutes. You take the F train to Queens. You walk into your parents' kitchen at 8:33 p.m. on a Tuesday. Your father is wearing the same blue-colored shirt. You hand him a folded bank statement. He reads it twice. He reads it a third time. He sets it on the table. He does not speak. Your mother brings him water. Your father, the man who handled 21 years of mortgage payments, says only one sentence. This is not how it was for us. You open the leather ledger that night. You write on page 138, your name, 2014, $170,000. At level 2, the number stops being theoretical. The number becomes a verb. Level 3, the first billion, age 31, 9.4 billion. It is 2021. You are 31. You have built a second company for 7 years. It is not accounting software. It is infrastructure. Developer tools, cloud orchestration, automated billing for software as a service businesses. You took $170,000, hired 3 engineers, raised a $4.5 million seed in 2017 from a fund Theo introduced you to, and built the company into a $740 million revenue business by 2020. The pandemic accelerated everything. Software ate the rest of the world. You ate with it. It is 6:42 a.m. on a Friday in November. You are in a glass conference room on the 38th floor of a building on Broad Street. There are 9 people in the room. Your CFO, your lawyer, 2 bankers from Goldman, and 4 colleagues. The IPO opens at 9:30 a.m. The pricing range was $22 to $26. The night before, the banker settled at $24. The market opens. The first trade prints at $58 a share. You hold 19% of the company post-IPO. The market capitalization at the open is $52 billion. The math done in your head is brutal and immediate. Your stake is worth $988 billion. You round it down. You round down because rounding down is the only honest direction at numbers like this. You walk to the window. The Hudson is gray. There is light snow. Your father is in the room. He flew in from Queens the night before in the same blue-collared shirt. He is 65 years old. He cannot read the screen. He cannot understand the number. He looks at you and asks very softly, "Did you do something wrong?" You shake your head. You hug him for a long time. Your phone vibrates. It is Raj, your former roommate, now a high school physics teacher in Yonkers. He has texted only 3 words. What's it feel? You do not answer for 31 minutes. When you do, you write back. Like the 0 finally has a shape. That night in a hotel room overlooking Bryant Park, you open the leather ledger. The pen feels heavier than it has ever felt. You write on page 139. Your name, 2021, 9400000. You stare at the 9 zeros. You think of your father in the kitchen 12 years earlier, refinancing at 6.25%. At level 3, the math compounds faster than the conscience. The conscience must catch up. Level 4, the first empire, age 38, 72.4 billion. It is 2028. You are 38. The company you took public is now the second largest infrastructure provider in the United States. You have acquired 6 smaller firms. The largest acquisition was a satellite bandwidth company in Reston, Virginia, for $14 billion in stock. You did not buy it for the satellites. You bought it for the long-term lease on 300 square miles of geostationary spectrum. You have a daughter. Her name is Anna. She is 2 years old. She has your mother's eyes. You hold her at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday. You read her a book about a frog who learns to count. She gets the 4 and stops. You think about the ledger in the closet of your home in Palo Alto. You think about how your father would have looked at her. Your father died on the 4th Tuesday of October. A heart attack at 5:11 a.m. in the kitchen of the row house in Queens. He was 68. The blue-collared shirt was washed and folded on the chair. The funeral is in a church on Metropolitan Avenue. Your mother holds your arm through the entire service. You do not cry until you get into the car afterward. And then, you cannot stop. You buy your mother a small gray-shingled house on a cove in Camden, Maine. You pay cash, $141 million. She moves in on the second Tuesday of June. She insists on driving herself in her Toyota Corolla. She refuses the car you offered her. By the end of 2028, your stake in the original company plus 3 other holdings is valued at $72.4 billion. The number is not a number anymore. It is an instrument. You have a chief of staff, a security team, a foundation in formation, and a calendar managed by 3 people. You have not driven your own car in 11 months. You have not carried cash in 2 years. The market does most of the work now. Your company gains $400 million on a normal trading day and loses $700 million on a bad one. You no longer compute your net worth. The compute happens to you. You open the ledger that night in the study at 11:47 p.m. You write on page 140 your name, 2028, 72 billion, 400 million. The pen is the same pen. The leather is the same leather. The hand is no longer the same hand. At level 4, the market gives you more than the work does. The work becomes the smaller force. Level 5, the threshold, age 46, 284 billion. It is 2036. You are 46. You sit in a hearing room in the Hart Senate office building at 11:14 a.m. on a Wednesday. There are 23 senators on the panel. The chair is Senator Olivia Hartwell of Michigan. She is 61. She wears a navy blazer and an expression that has decided the answer to the question before she asks it. The hearing is on antitrust. Your company controls 71% of the underlying compute that runs federal cloud infrastructure. You provide identity verification for 41 states. You operate the satellite network that handles most rural broadband in the Mountain West. The senators want to know if you should be broken up. The senators want to know who you answer to. Your daughter Anna, now 10 years old, sits in the back row in a navy dress and white sneakers. Her teacher gave her permission to miss school. She watches you the way you used to watch your father. You answer for 4 hours. You answer carefully. You answer with the truth where you can. You do not interrupt. At 3:42 p.m., you are dismissed. You walk out of the building into a soft May rain. Your security detail flanks you. Across the street, a small group holds signs with your face on them and the words "too big." You do not look directly at them. In the car, Anna question, "Are you a good person?" You think about the question for the entire ride to the airport. You answer at the gate. You say, "I try to be." The size of what was built makes that question harder, not easier. Your net worth that month, by the most conservative valuation method, is $284 billion. You are now on a list of 12 private individuals deemed strategically critical to the national infrastructure of the United States. The list is not public. You have read it in a sealed briefing. In a windowless room at the Department of Defense, your name is third. You think of your father in the row house in Queens. You think of how he would have read this number. He would not have believed it. He would have thought it was a misprint. You almost think it is a misprint yourself. You write on page 141 that night. Your name? 2036. 284. 1,000. 1,000. 1,000. The page is heavier than the others. The number is heavier than the page. At level 5, the wealth has gravity. The gravity bends the light around it. You are the bend. Level 6, the wisdom. Age 55, 711 billion. It is 2045. You are 55. You stop running operations at the end of January. You become chairman. You sit in board meetings on the second Thursday of every month. You speak less than you used to. You listen to your CFO, a 44-year-old woman named Mira, the way Theo once listened to you. In a room above a Korean grocery on 32nd Street. Theo died in October 2044. He was 76. You wrote the eulogy. You stood at the lectern in a small chapel in Brooklyn for 22 minutes. You said one sentence 3 times. He told me what I was learning mattered more than the degree. On the 3rd repetition, your voice held. The room held with you. You spend Tuesday afternoons with Anna. She is 19 years old. She is studying art history at a small liberal arts college in Western Massachusetts. She does not want the company. She does not want the seat. She wants to teach high school eventually in a small town. You do not argue. You sit on the back porch of the house in Palo Alto at 4:48 p.m. and listen to her talk about a Caravaggio painting she saw in Rome. You open the closet. You show her the leather ledger. You let her read all 141 pages. She stops